Leon Muhammad. 75 years ago, I was born in Dothan, Alabama, the country boy. Come to Philadelphia, became a legend in the streets, a legend in the masjid, dealing with at that time we called it the temple, and then the mosque. Now we call it the masjid, dealing with the Akbar juice, the bean pies, and the Muhammad speech. I was associated business captain, not a security captain, a business captain. But I had some power on the street, got in the boxing world, working with Benny Briscoe, on up today to Ali, up today to the fighters of this area that I'm working with. My latest project advisor is Chilafima Lopez.
So tell us about racism when you were growing up. What was racism like? Make it so a young kid from today could realize what it was like for you racially growing up.
Okay, racially growing up in the South, because we lived 3 places, the Carolinas, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama. But Alabama was more racist because of the racism of that time. Black people in North America, especially the southern states, didn't have an identity. You had to drink at different water fountains. You weren't eagle. And you had a hard time. You had black restaurants, you had white restaurants, you had black movies, and you had black theaters. You couldn't associate, you couldn't go out with a white girl, and a white boy couldn't take a black girl to the movie, but we know it happened, but it was kept quiet. The average black guy dealt or what's that, a white woman, they got racist. Going back to the young man in Money, Mississippi. Man, his mother fought the case, Emmett Till. Those are the kind of things that happen, young men, young brothers. Y'all have it better today. You can date who you want to. You can go to whatever movie you want to go. The ones that stay focused on it, see, racism was bad then. It's still racism today. But it's not as bad as it was in Mississippi and Alabama. They got black mayors, and you just had a young black woman, I wish her well, may God bless her, that ran and come up short as the governor of Georgia. So racism then, it still exists. Jim Crow was fought by Dr. King and Rosa Parks, but we got to fight Jim Crow's sons and grandsons, the corporate racism. They put referenda on the ballot where you can't go to school. They put referenda where you can't get a decent job on Wall Street. So it's still racism, but it's a more of a corporate racism. It ain't no more hanging no more. They hang you on the ballot. They take your life insurance. They take this from you. They make the STA scores. What do you call it, Jay? SAT, where your son can't get it in nothing but a technicolor, a New York State college, or one of them small Southern college. Racism still exists. But from my era to this era, it was beaten, hanging, run over, dragged down the road. The reason when we had the racism, just like it was in the 30s and 40s, was down in Tyler, Texas, when they dragged that man by the pickup truck. So now Jim Crow still exists, but it's more corporate Jim Crow. See, they ain't lynching you. See, the problem when you look at those that was alleged Ku Klux Klan, they never went in a project. They never went in the hood. Because there's no problem. They never went in the state of Hoover Street out there in LA. They never went in the project North Philadelphia. They never went into Cabrini Green in Chicago. There was a fear of black man in that time. They feared the black man. There was inferiority. So now the kids today have to see what we went through and what they're going through. We got lynched. They just get lynched on the ballot and lynched on SAT scores. So they can't get into certain school. Jim Crow still exists. But to keep fighting Jim Crow, you gotta keep fighting Jim Crow because it's always gonna be that way. It shouldn't be that way, but it's going to be that way. So these young brothers, they have to look at my era racism to their era racism. Our racism was hanging and lynching and beating until you die and strangled.
What role did black gangs, black mafia, play on changing racism? So what role did the black underworld play? Did it get better for blacks once it was a black mafia and some sort of strength to fight against racism?
Let me say this, Jay, in all sincerity. If I'm wrong, may Allah forgive me. But in my opinion, and my associated with the Philadelphia Black Mafia, associated talks with some of the alleged members of the Italian Mafia in Philadelphia, it was sit downs where you could sit down with those on this side, those on this side. It played a role because when you know back in the day, Dutch Schultz and Lucky Luciano, they took all the black number money. Bumpy got in the bed with them, where guys, the black number writers today, and your homeboy's Silky's father never got in the bed with him. We can talk and do business, but I'm getting most of the pie because you get it from my neighborhood. See, once the black mafia came, the black strength came, they was able to sit down. Because during Doug Schultz's era, the little guy wasn't getting no money. But during Sam Christian's era, and them Mississippi boys out there sending them guys to Pittsburgh and Dame in Chicago, them guineas had to come to the table. Oh, you ain't taking that now. And now, when they control boxing, they don't control nothing in the fight getting sports game now. You go to them kids and they talking about, I want peace, them kids got something for you. They weren't deployed. They went to Melvin Taylor. They look like you crazy. Man, I got a whole crew of motherfuckers. They're with me. I'm gonna go mellow. So when the black underworld came, compared to white underworld, they was able to sit down. But if you look at the era and you know the history of your town, Dutch was getting all the money. And in New York, Bumpy was breaking down with the Guineas. But look at it, Nicky did business with him. What did Frank Matthews say? I'll come down Marlboro Street and every Guinea in sight, I'm gonna kill. You try to take something from me? So it was the strength. Frank Matthews didn't compromise. Bumpy Johnson compromised. Nicky compromised. Got in the bed with him. Frank Matthews, the country boy, the Mississippi boy, they ain't get in the bed with him.
Talk to me. When you say Dutch Schultz made all the money, what do you mean?
Dutch Schultz was a Jewish gangster. We know Schultz is Jew. He was a Jewish gangster, but he had strength, but he had to use the Irish boys and the Italian boys. See, Lucky them got tired of him because he didn't want bumping them. See, he always thought he was better than the black man. But the strength, look at them days, all them pennies add up. When the old black lady putting 10 cents on the number, 4 pennies on the number, that was the strength came from the black community. If you know the economic in our community then, in our community now, we spend more money than every group in history. So when the black underworld came, bruh, the people didn't fear because they know they were gonna get hit. A lot of times, number hit. Dutch jokes, he didn't say I ain't paying no more black people. But when Bumpy got involved, oh yeah, we did the right thing. So there was strength. Wherever there's numbers, there's strength. See now, that's why you think there was a number racket in this one. Oh, only in America, baby.
Okay,
we
so
got something, baby. We back in business. So I keep telling you, man, I ain't dumb as I look.
All right, so talk to me. Okay, so we talk about the gangsters. You said that the mob approached some of today's black athletes to try to extort them.
That's not going to happen. They tried, but it's not going to happen. Because the kids today said, look, man, I'm going to give you 20, I'm going to give you 33 cents. What are you doing? I can get my own car, get my own endorsement. I don't need no front money. I'll get the front money from Pepsi. I'll get the front money from Nikes. What do I need with a couple $100,000 from you to give you a piece of rock? So well, we come out to see you. They want to see a certain guy and call no name. When he came back, he had about 100 GDs and 1,000 Crips, about 4,000 Bloods. They said, damn, where you bring them? He said, you brought your partners, you tried to score me. I brought my crew to make sure you don't extort me.
So tell me this story. So they went to a certain black athlete.
Mm-hmm. They wanted a piece of the rock.
And they wanted a piece of his money. And they came to see him. He had GDs, Crips.
Everybody. So to show you the different era. When a while back, You asked me what role they played in boxing, and I told you the 50s and the 60s and the early 70s. But they didn't play no role in the 80s and 90s. Them kids winning them gold medals, they don't need you. They didn't bother Ray Leonard. They didn't bother Michael Spence because he had all timber number 25 around him. So they know the history of number 25. But now they're doing it the corporate way. They starting you the corporate way, and you don't even know it. Explain what they're doing. They put a guy out there that you may like. Say an agent. Now, you know in the sports business, there's a lot of Italian agency. And there's a lot of Jewish agents. So what they're doing, they extorting the agents. They ain't extorting the athlete, they're making the agent pay a piece of the rock.
So you still think there's...
Oh, there are forces anyway. They don't crack heads in the street no more. They crack heads with the pencil and pen on Wall Street. So it ain't personal, bro, it's business. Why you think Miles Lansing be number 90? He wasn't in the stuff that like Lucky Luciano, all them cracking you in your head, that bang bang. Miles said, I'm gonna mess with you with the pistol. You see how long Miles Lansing lasted? He was in his 90s, died on his own, all the rest of them got whacked. Because it was business. It's never personal. So when you look at the black gangsters, they done the one that led black gang, they done got shot. A lot of them come from the hood, they probably down home. They got social degree. A lot of them paralegals now. They done learned that law in them prisons. They know how to crack your head still with the typewriter in the pen. So everything brain changing. Nothing comes from a dream. So once the change comes, once that era to this era, they still extorting athletes and musicians, but they're doing it in a corporate way where they can't even see it.
Talk to me about Frankie Carbo and his influence on boxing.
Frankie Carbo, led Mr. Great. Frankie Carbo was very enforcement. Him and Johnny Vitale led a union boss down there who the late great Sonny Liston was with, former heavyweight champ of the world. Sonny with him. Frankie Carbo controlled the boxing. Nobody got a shot. Jake LaManna told you that. You see, Charlie Burley never got a shot because he never got in the bed with him. Look at all the guys didn't get a shot. Georgie Benton didn't get a shot. But Lou Duva gave him a good job. He trained all his 84 teams. But he got blackballed because he didn't get in the bed with him. Georgie was associated with that Black Incorporated out of Philadelphia, that upstate Buffalo, and that Black Incorporated small crew you never heard of. They were Navy guys out of the Navy base, real gangsters, Great Lakes, Illinois. You know, they had a national chapter up there. They put the work in Chi-Town. A lot of people thought they were coming from Chi-Town, but that work come from that Navy base, baby. The real players, see, you got to understand, in boxing, see, they only got the weak guys. Not saying that Ernie was weak, good, decent fighter, for that era. Country boy, come up here, got a big house in Chicago. I forgot what street he lived on in Chicago, maybe you know. And then how you think he got that janitorial service after getting all the corporate buildings in Detroit? How you think he got the Daily building? Because didn't Richard Daley did business with the underworld? Because didn't nobody win an election unless they won Chicago. So they served a purpose. Frankie Carbo had ties alleged to have ties everywhere. He had a guy in Philadelphia, Blackie Belambo. He had guys here and there, alleged had guys in there, but he sat down. You notice, they never had a piece of Ray Robinson. You check the public records. Before each fight, 2 hours before Ray got in the ring, Ray money was uptown. Ray got his money up front, because he knew what was at stake. So the difference between Joe Louis and Ray Robinson, Ray had them Mississippi gangsters around him up in his joint, his trainer, Jackson, Mississippi born. See, people slept on them country boys. They was very smart, very gangster, because the ones that left them down home, they done learn all the tricks from the white boys down there, from the slave master.
So when you say Ray's money was uptown, he knew what was going on. Elaborate on that a little bit.
Ray got his purse.
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray Robinson had a joint
Go.
Sugar Ray Robinson, hell of a joint uptown. 123rd Avenue, they called Sugar Ray's. When Ray got in the ring, 2 hours before he got in the ring, his purse was uptown. His people done came and got his purse. Because Ray didn't trust the power to be at the Garden. See, difference between Ray and M.L. Griffin. See, Ray know what the white people were doing with that money juggling. M.L. Griffin, see, Ray had all black guys around here. M.L. Griffin had the sports announcer, Gil Glancy. Gil Glancy, he fought, you know the history said he fought more time in the Garden. When M.L. Griffin died, he was dead broke. So it's a difference. He didn't own nothing. Ray owned nightclubs and stuff. He had all that when he died. His son and daughter sold all that stuff. His first wife, well, Edna Robinson, very smart country girl from Alabama.
Why was Ray Robinson not extorted by the Mafia and Frankie Carbo and people that those like? Wait, hold on. Wait till that siren goes by. Just 1 second. That mic's powerful. It pick up everything, don't it?
Yeah.
Hold on. It sounds like it's damn near in here. And cut. Let's just wait.
One picture.
You don't know a goddamn level.
But one thing I do know.
What you know?
I know that Wilder gonna get knocked dead in California.
Wilder ain't getting knocked out. So, why? What did I just ask you?
You asked me why Frankie Carbo and his Murder Incorporated crew couldn't extort Ray Robinson.
Yes. Why was Ray Robinson? So say Sugar Ray Robinson wasn't able to be extorted.
Let me say this to you about the Sugar Man, Sugar Ray Robinson. Detroit, Michigan, real name Walker Smith, known as Sugar Man, Sugar Ray Robinson. You couldn't escort Ray. Ray was a smart businessman. And you gotta remember, Ray had all of them, we talking about in Ray's era. See, when Ray's era, black was coming in, black guys was coming out of law school. They was coming in, especially when Ray got all this business at the end of his career. They couldn't extort Ray because Ray had all them Mississippi gangsters. Man, they didn't want to hear that crazy stuff, man. Bring the money uptown, and we ain't fighting. Because the club was getting plenty of money. They wouldn't even tell Ray that because Ray had people around him that was willing to sacrifice for him. And they know this. And at the time, Ray was really at the height of his career. He had Malcolm was in New York then. And he had Red Fox and all them around him, man. All them St. Louis gangsters around him, man. They knew them, they wasn't playing you mess with the Sugar Man. See, Ray was a better idol to the guys coming in, to the players, than Joe Louis. Everybody, and I love Joe. Met him on the end, Don King buried him. Don King buried him. Martha, good sweetheart lawyer. But till he died, everybody hated Joe. Some of them, Joe was Uncle Tom. How you gonna let the white man tell you give away all your purse? You put all them defenses and give all your money to the army. How smart was you?
When you say let the white man give away your whole purse, are you talking about the mafia made him give it away?
No, the government. Joe was a hoodwinker, man. Joe was a great champion, but he wasn't a smart champion. Then, when he got beat, he wanted to be a milk truck owner. Then he became a wrestler. Come on, man. Ray wouldn't go through all that. Ray come to the door, he was sweet as sugar. So, but Ray had people around him. You gotta remember, Ray came when Dick Gregory come on the scene, Bill Crosby on the scene, Red Fox was on the scene, Ma Mayer was on the scene. He hang around there, and all of them had them Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi gangsters around them. So they know if you step in that circle, you got a problem. Plus the Sugar from Detroit. And he had all them gangsters, them old country gangsters in Detroit. See, Detroit had the real Black Mafia. And then it became Philadelphia. So you look, Ray was strong and people thought Ray Robinson was. Sugar Ray Robinson, a.k.a. Walker Smith. So when you got a weak guy and you got a weak link, you can get in on the weak link. Ray ain't like these guys today. His circle was tight. Them country boys was tight. Because they know if they keep Ray focused, they're going to eat for a long time.
Now, what do you mean Detroit had the real Black Mafia and Philly had the second Black Mafia?
Well, you got to remember that Moss #1 was in Detroit. Because it come out of Detroit, Malcolm was a gangster. Brother Whipple, all them were gangsters. Then you had all them gangsters out there from Mississippi, came to Detroit. All them gangsters, they had a day job, but they cracked your head at night. All them working at Ford Motors. Everybody working at Ford Motors. If you went from Detroit, you were from Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia, where was the stop? New York, Detroit, and Chicago. Most of the Southern went to New York, Detroit, and Chicago. So the gangsters from Mississippi, they did their thing, but they did work in the day, they did it at night. That's what the Detroit came to the first play at. Then they came to Philadelphia, the other strength hold. Going back to the top of the clock, 12. Going back to the cornerstone, 25. So when you look at the big picture of it, listen, you couldn't take nothing from no nigga in Detroit or Chicago.
What would have happened if they would have tried to extort Sugar Ray Robinson?
They had a problem. It'd been a nightmare.
So say they would have had a problem if they tried to extort Sugar Ray.
If they extort Sugar Ray Robinson, if they tried to extort the late Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter of all time, regardless of what my little brother Floyd say, love you too, Floyd, champ. They would have had a problem out of all the gangsters. Bumpy Johnson, Frank Matthews, and all them guys before him, Georgia Fats, them guys was real gangsters. They had a problem because they was with the Ray. See, if Joe Louis had a problem, they wouldn't have said nothing. They wouldn't have said nothing. Because they didn't idolize Joe. They pictured Joe, great as he was, Joe died a broken man as a greeter at Caesar's palace. What did the white man do when he breaks you down, take all your money, he give you a little job and let you stay in the spotlight? Look how the white boys raised money for Joe. Frank Sinatra loved him in Saturday Jr. But that was Uncle Tom Negroes, man. They didn't have the squad that Ray had. What Negro you know want to be in the Rat Pack, a group called the Rat Pack? Come on, man. Keep it real to me, baby. Talk to me, Jay. Ray Robinson was a force. And he didn't take no mess, man, because he had all them guys around him. Mr. Gangster, Frank Matthews, the Bumpy Johnsons, and all them guys, man. They idolized Ray, man. They stayed in Ray's joint. At that time, they talking about couldn't go in the Coco Cabana, in the Cotton Club. Bumpy said, where I want to go? You uptown. He got rid of town nowhere. What he did? That was real true. He got rid of Dutch jokes. You don't out of here, man. You don't run nothing uptown.
You told me a little bit earlier, you said something about Sam Christensen. Can you speak on him a little bit more?
Sam Christian, Brother Bayard. A couple of years ago, we had a gymnasium run to Allah, me Allah grant in paradise, and for grant Brother Bayard for all his sins. Bayard was one of the alleged members, founding members of the original Black Mafia. So you know, one came after Sam, they called it the JBM, the Junior Black Mafia. But there's no comparing to Sam Christian and your dear friend Bobain, alleged part of the Black Mafia. They print anything. They said I was a goon for the Guineas. They don't know now. I'm a Muslim. I'm about peace. But Sam was a focused guy. They put a lot of stuff on him, and his public knowledge. He did a lot of time in Auburn State Prison, New York, for a case up in Harlem. But if you look at it and check his history, very sincere brother, good Muslim. If you bother the Muslims, you say I talk to him. Good guy.
When you say the case in Harlem, can you speak about that?
It was alleged where police were shot. That's why Brother Bayard wound up in Auburn prison. That's public knowledge, public records. Because you can, as a reporter, you can look at any record, public knowledge. You know that better than I know. You already know it before you even asked me. So, but what I'm saying to you, he was one of the founders. He was the boss. He was the captain. He was the security captain for Nation of Islam. He was the captain.
Did you ever meet Sam Christian when you were in the Nation of Islam?
I knew Brother Bayard real well.
What kind of guy was he?
Good guy. Good Muslim. Good Muslim. Good Muslim, but fearful. Didn't play with it. He didn't play. Good brother, like a lot of brothers. Like the brother that discovered Bernard Hopkins, the great middleweight champion from Philadelphia. He didn't return to Allah. Both of them didn't return to Allah. Depending on Allah. Allah called him in. Knew the Mims. Guy was forceful. If you look at all the pictures in 73, 74, big Jabbar, standing right close to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on security on the 45 square angle. See, these guys don't know about standing on the 45 square. We stand on the 45 square just like this here. If a fly got in your eye, you better not move. Sweat running down to your toes, you better not move. You take charge of the general number one, take charge of all proper view. You put one of these guys there on post, when a girl come by with a big ass and a new weave, they say, get that post, man, they'll be all right. They know if everybody's bottom, we can come get them. See, that's what you gotta know, bro. You gotta know when to stand tall. See, Sam had soldiers. Bayak had soldiers. You and Bo was all right, man. You know what kind of guy Brother Abu was. You know better than anybody. See, you looking crazy, but you know what kind of soldier that they come out of Philadelphia, tell me number 12. But what you didn't ask me about Palm Sunday for the Black Mafia, 1973 in Atlantic City. Oh, that was a nightmare, baby. It ain't personal, bro. It was business.
Tell me about Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday for the Black Mafia. Alleged for the Black Mafia. Alleged for the Italian, alleged for the Irish. They don't know who did it. Put it that way. Only in America. It could have been a young Putin did it. Who knows?
So why did the Black Mafia want to talk to Fat Ty?
Let me say this to you, baby. Now, as I said before, I'm a boxing guy and a Muslim. You know, gangster, but I know all the gangsters. But I played a different role. The brothers kept me out of that, and I think a lot they did. Man, you pack country boy, stay out of that. You're a sports guy. You're a boxing guy. You're a business guy. You sell the papers out by juice and the bean pies. Stay out of this business here. And I thank them brothers for it, the one that's here and the one that's going on. I mean, Bayak and all of them. But listen, it was alleged that Fat Ty didn't want to get into bed. Fat Ty was alleged to be the boss in the streets. And some of the brothers was alleged they wanted to eat from Ty's table. But Ty didn't want them brothers alleged by the put up a paper and by so-and-so that Ty was the boss in the streets. And then some of the brothers alleged wanted to eat from Ty's table, but Ty didn't want them to eat from his table. So it became a conflict. So Ty said, hey, nobody eats my table. So I'm a Christian. How you eat from a Christian table? I eat pork chops.
So explain what eat from the table means to someone that doesn't know.
Someone that don't eat from the table means I want a piece of the money that you get in the streets. So guys say eat from the table, they use different terms. In that day, the police heard it, they're gonna lock you up for trying to extort Ty. So guys today, they use different terms of extortion, eat from your table. If I allege to extort a Joe Splo, I was called to go to Joe Splo and say, my brother, have God been good to you? Yeah. Have God been good to your parents? Yes. Have God been good to your children? He said, oh, God is good to me and my family. So I would say, my brother, by the grace of God, let me eat from your table. Because God, you just said God has been good to you. There's no extortion, there's no racketeering, and there's no terrorist threats. Because I went with the religion tip. So that's where a lot of guys do today, so they don't get charged, racketeering, because you can't, if a guy wants to eat from his table, it's nothing nobody can do. But if you go say, hey man, give me 200,000, or you got a problem. You coming in with religion, you coming in with peace, harmony, and humanity. So where's distortion and racketeering at? Where's the 848 conspiracy?
So, Fat Ty, they said let me eat from your table. They were trying to extort Fat Ty.
Hey man, that's what the white folks say. But in my opinion, you're saying, Ty, let me eat from your labor. Because you have labored hard in the community. You have took from the community, now give back to the community, to the brothers that are trying to clean up the community. That's my perception of it. Now, that's what you're talking about, I don't know. But the reality I do know. But Fat Ty been going 45 years because he didn't want nobody to eat.
So, did they want to work with Fat Ty, or they just flat out wanted money? Allegedly.
Hey, listen, Fat Ty ain't sitting down with nobody. I'm taking the chance of getting indicted. So, I'm eating from all this here. I'm eating from this here. See, Fat Ty was a greedy motherfucker, man. From 24th Street North Philly, man, he was a greedy motherfucker, man. I'm telling you like it is, man. Fat Ty my man, but Fat Ty gone. It ain't personal, brother, business. See, had he been through this era today, Fat Ty would have survived, man. Because he would have saw the time is changing. See, time was changing. See, if that fat guy would have got to the 80s, he'd been glad to let the brothers in Detroit, the brothers in China eat from his table. He'd have gotten to be able to Chinese. Because it changes. See, when you're greedy, greed come out to haunt you. What did the scripture say? A fool and his money soon depart. That's the scripture. I wrote that's the scripture. Hey man, that time, didn't want nobody to eat. He wanted to eat and drive all the Cadillacs by himself, man. It didn't go that way, man. The brothers wouldn't go over there. They told Ty, my brother, let me eat from your table.
Did Ty have the muscle to back it up?
Ty didn't. If Ty had muscle, Ray Charles can see, and Stevie can see, and Julio Iglesias can see. But muscle, he only had one good Muslim with him. Brother Malik. Malik the guy. But Malik, the society, man, messing with the brother told Malik, man, come on, man, you Muslim, man. You better put this damn food, man. The man's a fool, man. But in that era, them alleged brothers, you wouldn't let them brothers eat? And you eating faster than a racehorse at the Garden State Parkway in Cherry Hill when it was a racetrack, put up Gettysburg down and got the insurance money? Come on, man. You don't know the history of Club Harlem, bro? That's where all the gangsters hung in Club Harlem. They didn't go to show at night, they didn't go to show at night. They had the breakfast show, man. They went to show 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, man. They had the breakfast show. Talking about Major Coxon, who was a player in the black underworld and the white underworld, coming out of Philadelphia, New Jersey, and South Jersey. Major ran for mayor. Major was a close agent to the former great heavyweight champion and humanitarian, the late Muhammed Ali. Bismillah, Allah, Muhammadullah. May Allah grant you paradise, champ. Rest in peace, champ. Major was a player in the underworld. Major had ties to the Black Mafia, to the White Mafia. Like I told you before, his man, Stanley Branch, was alleged close ties to the general Don. They called him Angelo Bruno. See, I'm a Muslim. I'm associated with them cats. I'm a Muslim. I believe in religion. I ain't no gangster, but I know the gangsters. But I'm saying, Major was a player, and Major was a guy that was very smart. Major was very smart. Because he tricked Fat Ty, he tricked P.I., he tricked Sonny and all of them. Major was smart on all them clowns.
How'd he trick him?
Major said him a dream. See, Major said you dreamed the day from the graveyard. You listen? Jason, this is the master Major Coxon. You know what I mean? Major was a powerful player, man. See, Major could get to anybody. Major Stanley Branch had to join with the white girl, Julian Reese, downtown. She took 12 years for the boys downtown. So, bitch, you crazy. I ain't gonna get nobody but me. See what I'm saying? Major was so slick, man. Major knew that the end was near. That the old song said, "Rock of Age, declare for me now." Major couldn't clear up what he had done. Major was a powerful player, man. Everybody, when they see the Major, Ali, Smoking Joe, all of them sat down with the Major. Major was a master. Major would sell you a car, he didn't even own it. The car be in Florida. Major said, "Oh man, give me that money. The car will be in 2 weeks, man." Yes, sir, Major. The Major gets you that car, trust me. The morning he said gonna be there, some guy call me and you, "Oh, we had a problem, man. Let your wife have this, and you drive my Ross till yours come." That's the kind of player he was. But he came up short. But he didn't do what he said he was gonna do.
What did he say he was gonna do?
Hey man, hey man. He said he didn't do what he said he was gonna do. I don't know. I wasn't there. So I talk about what I know, what I hear, and not what I see. And what I see. I don't go no hearsay, man. I'm gonna go on us. So I keep it real.
Do you think he ran for mayor to increase his power in the underworld, or was he trying to go legit?
Major going legit? I don't know. But I know he had a show up on the bicycle running for mayor of the cabinet. Excuse me, y'all, I got to take my medicine. But one thing I do know, Jay, at that time the players was Major Coxon, Pat Ty, your man, J.D., John Darby, with the connection New York, Black Mafia, Black Look on guy, those was the major players, and the alleged major players in the black underworld. I knew them all. But they kept me away from that, man. They said, bro, you fat country boy, you fat jolly guy. Trick with the girls, eat good, and keep selling your bean pies and hot bar juice, and take care of your family.
So you brought up Frank Matthews. What kind of relationship did he have with the Black Mafia? Was it an adversarial one, or were they in cahoots?
Frank Matthews, but one thing I knew I'm put it this way. My cousin them that was alleged part of the Black Mafia, they respected Matthews. I can use my family. I'm use my family. My family that come out of Big Mabel's womb in Jackson, Mississippi in the 20s. My grandmama, they had love and respect for Frank. So everybody else, I don't know. I know the guys that I know that in my family love Frank. So all them other guys, the yoke man, all them other guys, I don't know. I know the guys that I know in my family had love and respect for Frank.
What kind of guy was Frank?
Very intelligent guy. And the Guineas of that era, they feared Frank. Frank didn't play no games. I'm a country boy, I'm coming at you. Lose and win, I'm coming at you. If I don't get you, my grandnephews, all them Woody Moles and Jody Food, they can come out of Alabama and see you. In Mississippi, they gonna see you.
Was he feared?
Oh, he was feared. He told Carlos and Gambino, he said, I'll come downtown and kill all you Guineas. That's in sight. Play with me if you want them. He said, he told me, I ain't nicking on other guys. Don't play with me. Listen, when he went in his house, you see he made $1 million bill, they ain't seen him yet. That was 1971. They ain't seen Frank yet, they don't know Frank yet alive. It's a country boy.
So you have to speculate, what do you think happened?
Nothing happened? Nothing. He's somewhere if he died of old age. Frank was a bad man. Frank Matthews was a bad guy, man. Well respected by everybody. See, it's a difference between him bumping all them guys. Frank Matthews was smarter. You talking about the major?
No, we talking about Frank Matthews and his relationship with the Philadelphia Mafia.
Frank Matthews was always able to sit down with certain people, certain underworld groups. Frank Matthews, to me, was smarter than Nicky Barnes, Frank Lucas, and all the ones before him. See, Frank was very intelligent. See, Frank knew if I bring the right money to the table, you're gonna listen. My perception of Frank Matthews. Now, your man would know better because he dealt with Frank. See, I wasn't into that shit they was into. Con man, good hustler. I sent bean pie, fish, and outback juice. And Muhammad speaks. I wasn't into that stuff they was in. But I knew. So, if anybody can tell you how fair your man, Frank was, is your man. JD, your man. But from the guys that I know in my family that dealt with Frank, he's a fair guy. He just like Ma. It's never personal, it's always business. I ain't gonna kill you, you work it off. If I kill you, I ain't get a dime. That's the kind of guy Frank was. From understanding from some of my family members that dealt with him. So I'm the other guy, I'm talking about my family. My cousin, them, uncle them that's going on. They're going on to be at rest. They lost my reporter. But what I'm saying, Jay, you gotta understand, see the era. See, you gotta understand Frank's era, Fluky's them era, Chicago Reds and all them era, Detroit Reds, and Nicky them era, Frank Lucas them era. All them guys was in the same era, same time as Frank. But them guys had problems. Frank never had no problem. Bumping all them had problems. Frank never had no problem.
What do you mean by problems?
Niggas came at him. You saw when niggas went at Frank Lucas in the nightclub. They went at Frank. They never went at Frank Matthews. Oh, no, they weren't that stupid. The Guineas wasn't that stupid. They were powerful back then. Sat down, Frank said, we're going to talk. But if you play with me, you got a problem. See, everybody loved Frank. See, Frank can bring everybody in against his adversary. That's how smart Frank was. But the smarter than all of them, God damn, your man JD was smart than all of them. Never went in. Your man never went into my knowledge, he never went in. Some say, I don't know. But I knew him. I knew Pop real well. Done the project. We tell the project. My man. But I do know, he got the smart ones never go in. Only the dumb ones go in. Black Mafia was smart. Made $1 million bill, they ain't seen him since.
What do you know about the Dubrow case?
The Dubrow case. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you talking about the case January 1971? The Black Mafia last did it, Washington Avenue, Philadelphia?
Yeah, that one.
That's a hell of a case, man. Sound like, brother, I hope, pray Allah, y'all brothers that was legend about, I hope y'all brothers come on home, man. Y'all come on home, bro. And we on this deen, man. We doing things in the Islamic community, brother. We struggling, bro. Brothers come on home, man. But the case is still going on, Jason. You gotta look at it, man. Them guys still fighting for the life. Jason, we talking about 47 years them guys been in, man. Them guys still fighting to get out, man. If the ones that ain't passed in the prison, they still fighting, bro. You got guys that I'm alleged to associate with, guys had cases since 75. That's 43 years. They still fighting the Pennsylvania the Supreme Court, the Appellate Division, all that, man. Them guys in them law libraries, in them prisons every day, man. But what I will say, man, to my opinion, being from Philadelphia, being in the streets of Philadelphia, running for city council in 1983 on the Mayor Frank Rizzo ticket and the ticket for the state senate, for the governorship, that was the most tainted case in the history, in my opinion, in the history of mankind. They tricked them guys, man. They put them guys in the Mississippi Cross. That jury was greasier than a Louisiana pork chop.
Why do you say it's the most tainted case?
It's more, that case is more tainted than the cop shooting of our radio person down in Mahmoud Jamal. How you pronounce his name? Mahmoud. What's his name? Yeah, that brother. Brother, we hope you come home, brother. We pray that Allah grant you peace and freedom. But what I'm saying, Jason, that case was tainted more than his case. Because if you look at it, his jury, one of all the juries is the Dubrow case. He had a screwed up judge and a screwed up jury. But the trick, them brothers was in a trick bag before they even got to the arrangement. When they got to be arraigned, they was already guilty. The verdict was already in.
Why do you think the Black Mafia was set up in a Dubrow case?
I believe because at that time, the Nation of Islam was at the height, at the prominent, towards the end of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's life. May Allah grant him peace and may Allah grant him paradise. But what I'm saying is that they didn't like the Muslims in Philadelphia. They didn't like it because they couldn't, the police weren't coming and jumping number 12 on Susquehanna Avenue and beating up no Muslim. You got a problem. You only got a problem when you go home, your children might have a problem getting from school. So I'm saying they hated the Muslims, so it was arranged for them to sit down with the Muslim minister Jeremiah. Said, we're not having that, man. Because you always got a few field niggas and house niggas against us. We had old house nigga, oh, Jeremiah this, that Muslim this, Muslim that. Nigga don't sit down somewhere and stop being a house nigga.